Good morning. Day number 4. Day number 3 on the ground here in Europe. A little bit different day today. Got some cloud. Not as warm. So today is a travel day. We are going to be leaving the Ibis Hotel, Amsterdam South, and hopping on the bus. And as we mentioned yesterday, we're going to be hitting 3 countries. We're going to be leaving the Netherlands before we completely exit the country. We're going to be stopping at the Bergen Canadian War Cemetery. And then we are going to be traveling to the Belgian city of Antwerp. And we're spending some time there, including lunch. And then from Antwerp, we're going to be heading to the French city of Lille. And we're going to spend some time there. We're going to have supper there. And then we're off from there. We're off to our hotel in Arras. So the last couple of days, it's been sunny and very, very warm. Today is only going to be about 7 or 8 degrees. It's much cooler. It's windier. There's no sun in the sky, as you can see, or mostly cloudy. No shorts today. Got the long pants on. Got my toque on, and so we're ready for the conditions. Hopefully the kids are going to appreciate a little bit quieter day, less walking, maybe some time to sort of conk out on the bus and sleep a bit. So we'll return once we get rolling here on the bus and start our way out of Amsterdam to the south. I like the road trip parts. They're fun too.
All right.
I like seeing the different architecture of the houses and stuff like that, and the farmers' fields.
Yeah, the countryside.
And the landscape.
Yeah.
Flat at the moment.
Like, where's the place that has the slag heaps?
That's by Lens, by Vimy.
Vimy.
Yeah, like that. Just we don't have that, right?
Yeah.
And ours is all hilly and dense and forested, so we can't like see.
Yeah. From the monument, the memorial, you can see the slag heaps.
I like the
in Canadian English, does slag mean something?
Because you can see. There's another one too. It's
Oh, because it's like
twisted.
yeah. Oh, there's one in Normandy. It's like that.
Yes.
It's called the Bridge of Normandy. It's a really easy. It looks like it would be like a fairground ride, like a big ending, right? And then the twins, the girls, they are one's going to graduate this year, one to be around wait, and the second one graduates. I'm not sure where yet. That's my bit. No big. Do you like
This is awesome. That is a great idea.
So two of the 3 little boys, one of the 3 little boys, have one is especially because I took him to Spanish week because I really started learning Spanish full on since then. To learn Spanish as well as the craft. Yeah. The oldest, one of the older ones, is actually half Japanese. My brother's ex-wife is Japanese. Dual citizenship. He was actually born in Japan, but they moved back to England when he was a few weeks older.
So all the cities, right?
Most of the girls are here, and all the new ones.
Yes.
So we have stopped here at a little roadside rest stop. We are very, very short distance away from the Bergen Cemetery. You can see we're right next to the highway here. One of the neat things about Europe is the amazingness of the roadside stops. You can see across the street that there's an Esso. This one's a Shell. Across the street there's an Esso. Zoom in there. You see the Esso across the street. And then they have like a Subway, and then they have a It says Burger Stack. I'm sure there's another place in there. Like the places to stop along the highways in Europe are just incredible. One of the big things is that all the trucks and the buses and stuff, the drivers have very strict stipulations on how long they can drive for, and so they have to stop every so often. And so these rest stops are just amazing. And so I think the kids are, and this is not even a really big one. I'm sure we're going to stop at some bigger ones as well. And so the kids are kind of getting a little bit of this Euro experience. All right, so we've arrived at the Bergen op Zoom Canadian Cemetery. So we are making our way in. You can see we're just way off the highway here. And momentarily here we are going to have a prayer service before the students visit their soldiers' graves. There's actually an adjacent cemetery as well, but this is predominantly a Canadian cemetery. You can see the slab here with the inscription, "Their name liveth forevermore."
To remember in faith all those who have served and continue to serving in our armed forces, especially those who have died and those wounded in battle. We take special time out of the day to offer our prayers and respect to those men and women and the history that binds us together. Located north of Scheldt River on the Belgian border, Bergen op Zoom contains 968 Canadian graves, including 64 from the Royal Canadian Air Force. Most of the soldiers buried at Bergen op Zoom Canadian War Cemetery lost their lives fighting in the north of Antwerp during the Battle of the Scheldt. As the 2nd Canadian Infantry Division, with support from the 4th Canadian Armored Division, which included the Lake Superior Regiment, we worked to clear the right bank of the Scheldt estuary of German forces. Bergen op Zoom Canadian War Cemetery contains 1,118 Commonwealth burials of the Second World War, 31 of which are unidentified. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we look this morning as you reflect on my world your will. In this gathering, together with you, help me let our world one step closer to the peace of your kingdom. Make this prayer to you through Jesus Christ.
A reading from the Gospel according to John. Jesus said to his disciples, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love. Just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my own joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. This is my commandment, love another as I have loved you." The Gospel of the Lord.
Thanks be to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Please join me in the Canadian Legion's singing. They were young as we are young. They served, giving freely of themselves. To them we pledge amidst the winds of time to carry their torch, never forgetting it. We will remember them. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row. That mark our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing, lies scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved, and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up a quarrel with the foe. To you, with failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, ye shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Creator God, have mercy on all who are buried here. Bring them into your kingdom of light and peace, and Let them share joy with you and with all your saints. Have mercy on all the world. Pour the spirit of peace into the hearts of all, and help us to be peacemakers who work in harmony and love. We ask this in Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. St. Patrick and St. Ignatius,
Pray for us.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
We're going to be at the border pretty soon, in about a minute actually. So our last little time in the Netherlands. So before we leave it, to give you a nice interesting bit of trivia. This country that we've just seen a sliver of it really, from Amsterdam to here. But it's a relatively small country by European standards. And it would fit into your province a whopping 22 times. Now, Ontario is by no means the biggest province, is it? Not even, right?
No.
I think, I want to say it's 4th or 5th.
Second.
Quebec's bigger.
But I think, Nunavut, it's not a province, is it?
No.
Technically, the territory.
Anyway, so the Netherlands would fit into Ontario 22 times. What's the population of Ontario?
14 million.
So the Netherlands has more people, 16 million, in an area that is 1/22nd the size of your province. So if you look here on the right, this yellow sign with a black lion, this Vlaanderen, we're now entering Belgium. This whole area here to the, well, both sides, which is right, used to be where the border crossing was, where every vehicle would have to stop, get out, show the passport, get a stamp. You could change money if you wanted to back before the euro was invented in 1999, well, came into effect in 2002, change of currency, and so on and so on. And thankfully, because of the European Union, and then later on the euro currency, the borders within Europe, within an area that's referred to as the Schengen zone, all the borders have been in effect scrapped. And for example, if you fly from one of the countries in this zone to another, there's no passport control, and it just makes trade, travel, and employment and so on much easier. It takes away a lot of the restrictions. Without getting too political, that's one of the reasons why when the United Kingdom left the Euro, the EU, a lot of people, including me, were in restaurants and so on. And if you wanted to wander, stroll, it's basically the direction we'll start walking, just keep going further. You'll come across the main square, really hard to miss, with a beautiful, beautiful city hall, can't miss that. With the cathedral, I'll point that out as well, you can go there. As I said yesterday, if you're under 18, it's free to go in, but don't all
1873 to 1930, Eugene von Mann. Yes. The rest of the street. We'll find out.
So guys, this is the river Scheldt. The battle that we heard about this morning was named after it. Where it starts to become history. And just to go back, if any of you do buy any diamonds, don't tell everyone else not to. They'll expect you to pay for lunch for the rest of the trip. Okay. Well, I'm not, but I think one grandparent was Belgian. I think something like that.
Did you ever see that old movie Singles about the dating scene in Seattle in the 90s? This band Inspector Dick was telling everyone they were big in Belgium.
Oh,
How you prove it.
oh, that's good.
Remember that movie about Crow? Who's the guy, not Russell, the director Crow, James Crow? He did Almost Famous. He did a lot of movies about rock, because it's like pro jams in it, and Soundgarden in it.
Oh, you know what Jean-Claude Van Damme's nickname was? The Muscles from Brussels.
Oh yeah.
But the other type of muscles, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say again?
Are these large as a bike community? Yes.
No. No.
Castle.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so really.
Too late. Double cameras. Try to make sure I don't run into anything.
That's one Vienna.
That's awesome. So here we are in Antwerp. It's a major city here in Belgium, just south of the Dutch border. See the beautiful cathedral here. Zoom out on the camera here.
Okay, guys, can you all hear me? So we're going to use this as the meeting place by this sassy statue at 3 o'clock. Okay, so just over 2 hours. Is that enough time? Yeah.
See that chocolate shop there?
Gelato al naturale.
Now, if you guys want mussels too, you guys want something like specific? I think I'm making some frites.
I'm gonna have some frites.
Yeah.
Simple. Watch out, Kirk.
This is so beautiful. I'm glad he suggested this. People are probably looking at me 2 cameras, not just 1. 2 cameras.
Oh, do you? I hate them. Really?
Oh, gross.
One of my favorites.
All right, so we have the main cathedral here in Antwerp. Just absolutely beautiful. Don't know any of the history of it, but it is just an amazing building. One of the fantastic things about places like this, just the architecture and the history. More of Antwerp here. Surprising number of Italian restaurants for a Belgian city. So this is a square here, or a big square in Antwerp. Out here you can see beautiful old buildings. Maybe we can hear the cathedral bells ringing soon. Beautiful building here. Maybe this is City Hall. 1564. And there's the cathedral. Three. No tune?
The inverted right there too.
Anyway, France is by far the biggest country that we're visiting on this trip. It's by far the biggest country in Western Europe. Within the whole of Europe, not counting Russia, only Ukraine actually is bigger than France. So France is approximately the same size as your Western neighbour, Manitoba. Almost exactly the same size as that. Here we go, down right, France. Good. And France would fit into Ontario 1.5 times. So it's much bigger than the other two countries. So just over the border now. Obviously we're going to be spending the majority of the rest of the trip in France. We'll be back into Belgium tomorrow for the visits. So more about France as we go through. Those of you that do speak any French at all, I know some of you do, some of you speak a little, some a lot, some maybe not so much. Perfect chance to practice, improve, and so on. I don't know whether you guys speak more French or Quebec French. Which would it be?
French.
French, good. That's very similar here. If you spoke Quebec French, it would be tricky.
All right, so we've arrived in the city of Lille here in northern France. So the third of our 3 countries for today. And so we are going to be making our way to the square here. Gonna have to switch from Dutch to French. Just see the beautiful architecture of the buildings. Oh, look at this beautiful building here. We'll have to see what it is. Been to Lille before. We stayed in Lille on a previous tour. Don't really remember too much about it. Obviously, we are not staying in Lille. We're just here because we are going to be having dinner in Lille. You see the beautiful tower.
No, I think they would just leave it so they would open it.
I was looking at the name. You might be able to get that same brand. And I put on every piece of food and I had that yet.
All right, so we're continuing to walk around Lille here. And we have a very, very beautiful cathedral here.
They have all tobacco products.
Okay, well, if you,
You would go over where I go. If you want to
Phil
go for
is
something
a pipe
specific.
smoker. Okay, she's looking for a pipe.
I'm just walking over here,
Sophisticated,
guys.
feel like home?
Yes, yeah, like home that night.
Just gorgeous buildings. Gorgeous architecture.
All right, go ahead, Claire.
Okay, So a little bit of a different venue tonight for the wrap-up video. The hotel here has got a very interesting setup. There's no staff on duty at night, and you need like a key card and you need a code to get into the hotel. I just don't even want to try it just in case I get locked out of the hotel. In any case, very, very productive day. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we basically hit 3 countries during the day. So lots of driving, a bit less walking. So we only did about 14,000 steps today. But nonetheless, very progressive. So we had about an hour and a half drive, and then we were at the Bergen Cemetery, and then a very short drive into Antwerp. First time ever in Antwerp, and wow, what a beautiful city. You know, the architecture, the cathedral, just absolutely beautiful. The food had Belgian waffle for lunch, and then of course before we left we had to grab some frites, which obviously is kind of a bit of a specialty here in Belgium. And then another little bit longer drive into Lille. I've been into Lille before. We stayed there back in the trip in 2017, but we really didn't see much of the city because we were busy during the day, and we only kind of looked around a bit of it one night after supper. So we hadn't really seen the city during the day. So we had a chance to walk around some very, very beautiful architecture, another beautiful cathedral, much like we saw in Antwerp. Dinner at Flom's with the Alsatian style pizza, which we've had before, and certainly the kids loved it because it was all you can eat. And of course, what teenagers don't like all you can eat pizza. And then driving here to Arras, to the hotel. So tomorrow, what's interesting is we're staying here in Lille, but we're going to be driving back into Belgium. So we have just over a little bit of an hour drive. We're going to be off to Tyncott Cemetery, and then the museum in Passchendaele, and then into Yper, and then lunch, and then the in Flandersfield Museum, some more free time, supper, and then the Menengate ceremony. Tomorrow's going to be a late night again because Menengate ceremony doesn't start until 8 o'clock, and then by the time we get another hour to get back here, so we're going to be late getting back into the hotel. And then the day after that, we're off to Vimy Ridge. So in any case, I'm going to shut off because I've got another action-packed day tomorrow, and we'll talk about our adventures then.